the co-founder and the chief product officer of a small video calling startup called Confrere. Well, so my two co-founders, they co-founded and were early employee from Appear.in, which is like a video calling tool that's been around in the browser since 2013. Mm-hmm. But that's like tailored for team collaboration. But the tool we're building is targeted for professionals meeting with their customers. So it could be like a physician and a patient, or a therapist and a patient, a tutor and their student. So like a niche video calling tools for everyone that's like a professional and needs to meet people in an easy way in the browser. So yeah, they actually had the idea. They just invited me along to do the product part. So it's very important to get, of course, feedback from your colleagues and look at things with a critical eye. But so many of the actual usability issues are really hard for people to pick up on if they've been working on it. So to really know if something is intuitive, if it's like self-explanatory, the only way to know that something is self-explanatory is to give it to someone that doesn't have that context. And when they've been comparing expert reviews with user testing, like as much as half of the problems that come up in the user testing is overlooked in expert reviews. So it's actually not doing user testing is a huge risk. It's like you're basically letting 50% of the usability issues go out in the wild. And we would never accept that with bugs. You know, imagine someone saying, oh, it's just half of the bugs. We can ship it with half of the bugs. People will be like, are you insane? We can't do that. But we're doing it with the usability issues. So we really need to change the way we think about usability, I think. Oh, well, I guess a lot of it is about cutting the right corners. So for instance, to cut costs when it comes to recruiting, could you ask friends of friends? Mm-hmm. Could you go somewhere where the target group already is? Like when we worked for Norwegian Post, we could go to the post office. They were waiting anyway, they were bored. And also, you don't really need any expensive equipment. You just need a device you already have. And then so it's just, I think the only thing you actually need to get if you don't really don't already have it is to learn how to not ask leading questions. Mm-hmm. That's actually the only thing that you need to acquire if you haven't done user testing before. You don't need any equipment. You don't need money really to do it. You just need to take the time, and it's so valuable. It's time very well spent. So you can do a lot in like a half a day. Nope. Well, I think for everything that we do, especially when you have new formats, doing the user testing becomes even more important because it's a new landscape. And I guess it's a danger also that people have been working a lot with this kind of formats will know them better, and then it will be harder for them to create something that will also work for someone that has no experience with it. So I think it just has to be part of everything that we craft for someone other than ourselves. We always need user testing. On a daily basis, it's not really a user testing tool, but I use InVision freehand all of the time because we're a remote company. Being able to draw doodles over things and just go back and forth. I think I use that every day. So in my talk, I try to underscore the value of collaborating and also collaborating across disciplines. And I think often designers come from a background where there's still this idea of the sole genius, like the creative genius. And but if that's the way you've been taught to think about creativity, it's easy to become very protective of your stuff and you don't want to show it until it's done. Mm-hmm. But it's really hard today to make something for the web that's really good without collaborating with other people because it's becoming so specialized. So I'm trying to talk about the way that you can ask for feedback and give feedback without ending up with design by committee, but also involving other people early on, just so that you end up with a better product.